Hi everyone, I'm Olwen Cade and this is Olwen Cade Living Soulfully Tuesday Night Live on the 24th of the 3rd, 2020. Wow, what a week. I don't know about you, but I'm really having to work hard to stay in my space, hold my energy, not want to fly off in every direction. Trust me, I have a few times. And I've had to have some really serious conversations with myself about staying here, about being calm, about being kind, and about being present. So I thought that tonight was very appropriate because, like you, I'm struggling with that too. And often to be able to share that experience with other people and say, look, you're not on your own. This is happening here too, to me and to so many other people, is really important. A problem shared is a problem halved. So I thought that tonight would be really appropriate to talk about what happens to us when we get into fear state, when we start to panic, and what happens to us energetically, and then to us mentally and physically, and of course emotionally. So I'm going to begin by explaining a few things to you about us as energy beings. First of all, we are energetic beings. That's what we are. I've talked to you before many times about how, I'll reiterate, what is looking out through your eyes? What is powering your body? It's not your brain, it's not your heart, it's your soul. Your soul is made up of vibration, it is energy. We are all vibrational energy. And when we get distressed, when our human side of us, that fight and flight, that survival part of ourselves is challenged, when it is brought into our sphere, that somehow our survival is under scrutiny, it is under threat, then that huge part of us, that kind of lizard personality, is the lizard self, that synapses in the back of our head, that part of us goes, no, because if we didn't have that, we'd all just kind of jump off things and not think. We'd do really weird things to ourselves, which would extinguish ourselves very quickly. And so we need that part of ourselves. As children don't have it. There are some people who've never developed it and do all kinds of weird things and jump out of things and off things and drive really fast and do all kinds of stuff. And we always think, gosh, they're taking huge risks with themselves. For the rest of us, our survival instinct is incredibly strong. And sometimes it actually takes over and it becomes who we are and drives us. I wanted to explain to you a little bit about how extreme that can become, and that it may be doing that for some of you right now. I think the really interesting thing is that I used to suffer terribly from agoraphobia, and that's what this little story is about. Agoraphobia is the fear of open spaces, of going outside. I got to the stage in the 80s where I couldn't even go to my mailbox or my washing line. And yet somehow I could go out and direct shows and take rehearsals and do things like that. But there was this part of me that couldn't function properly. And that's permeated a lot of my adult life. And I started reading Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Myss. And if anybody else wants to look into your chakra system and into our archetypal self, she is an amazing teacher in that field. But anyway, I was doing this work and I was doing my archetypes meditationally, doing my archetypes, working out what was playing out in me. And I found this archetypal character who I called the gatekeeper. And he was a really interesting fellow. Now, to paint you a picture, in my mind's eye, I could see myself in this really large castle. And it was my castle, it belonged to me. And there was this moat around the outside, probably had alligators in it, didn't see them, but they were probably there, no doubt. My mind will have put them there. And here was this gatekeeper and the sentries. Now, the sentries, who would normally be up there looking out for danger, were down in the guardhouse with wine, women, song, drinking, dancing, asleep. They were really absent. They were AWOL. And the gatekeeper was asleep on the job. And he would he was not physically asleep, but he was kind of like, the portcullis was up, the drawbridge was down, and he was like, everyone come in, have a wonderful time. What do you need? Have this, have that, take what you need. And I was kind of jammed up in the top tower in this little space with very little, and everyone else was having a ball. And that was all part of my rescuer personality, that everyone needed to have more than I did, that somehow if I had something, they would all miss out. And so I was like almost like a prisoner in my own space. But the really interesting thing was that everyone could come in, but I couldn't go out. Because every time I went to go and cross over that, through the portcullis and over that drawbridge, suddenly the sentries would come, all spring to life and come rushing out of the guard room, and the gatekeeper would come rushing out and go, no, you can't go out there. We can't keep you safe. Don't you go out there. You come back here. We can't watch over you while you're out there. And so I became really afraid of going out. And so I didn't very much. And it was really interesting that I had no idea that that's what was going on. So I had to fire my gatekeeper. I had to say, that's enough, you're gone. And the sentries can go, off you go, I don't need you anymore. I need to rehire someone within myself that I know will not do that. That the drawbridge is now, the portcullis is going down, the drawbridge is coming up, whichever way. And I'm going to post my own sentries myself, and I'm going to be vigilant about who comes into my space and what happens in there. And when I go out, I know that I'm going to be well looked after and perfectly fine. Now, the interesting thing is that I've had, in recent times, I've had little bouts of that coming back, and sort of like, oh, don't want to go out, or I don't want to see people. And I've thought, is it that fear? Is it that, whole agoraphobic thing coming back? And I've sort of said to John a couple of times, have I got that back? And then I've had to really look at that and go, what am I scared of? And it was really because I felt like somehow my survival was under threat. And really it wasn't. It could have gotten worse. And in some ways it has. But nevertheless, I still need to stay in my power, in my own presence, and be calm, be kind, and be present for myself, and be calm, be kind, and be present for other people. How do you maintain that? Well, first of all, you have to understand that we are not physical beings. We may portray ourselves as physical beings. We're actually metaphysical beings. And that our fear, when we enter into the world of fear and anger and all those other things, and they're all derivatives of fear, we start to almost like fracture ourselves up and break ourselves up. And when we are faced with a survival instance, we begin this process of, oh my God, what can I do? Where can I go? Who can I talk to? What's going to happen to me? And we start sending our energy out in all different directions. But the other thing that we do is we start sending ourselves home. We start sending part of ourselves back into spirit, just in case we're going to have to make that journey. Because a big part of our survival is, will I die? How will I live? Will I die? And so we start becoming, we can get really sick when we've done that over a long period of time. There's this, I got told recently that by Spirit that, and I've shared this with you before, that our body doesn't start to break down and then we start going home. It's the other way around. We've started sending ourselves home and then our body starts shutting down. So it's really, really important, especially where we are right now, that everyone stays here. You need to stay here. I think it's really interesting that we're being told to stay home. Stay home, be with ourselves, be in our own space. And that's really what we need to do from an energetic and spiritual perspective, is we need to stay home. We need to stay within our own bodies, stay here, and be present in that. And I need to tell myself that as much as I'm sharing that with you, I'm talking to myself as much as I am talking to you right now. So I think that it's really important that if you've started to send yourself out there going, how am I going to survive? What am I going to do? How is this all going to happen? I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose my life. I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose that. You have to start going, no, 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 no. Stop, stop, stop. And that's what I've had to do today, is just go, stop, Owen, stop. And John's been helpful, and we've been working with each other because we've had a big blow today as well. And it's like, come back here and just be here right now. Be calm, be kind, be present. And I say that to myself. Those words are really grounding in themselves. Be calm, be kind, be present. And if you just say them over to yourself, just really slowly, one at a time, one phrase, be calm. And if you just sit with that for a moment, being calm, and just let that sink in, all right? Just stay there with that and feel those words, be calm. And then you go to the next set of words and you go, be kind to yourself. Just be there with yourself for a moment, be kind. That means stop beating yourself up. Stop fretting yourself. Stop worrying. You're not doing any good to yourself worrying. Be kind. You haven't failed. You haven't done anything wrong. Be kind. And then go to being present. Being present means that your thoughts aren't racing off in every direction. They're not rushing about wildly like the Chicken Little saying the sky is going to fall. You're actually just sitting down in a lovely, comfortable space or in a peaceful place where you feel safe, and you are just sitting there with yourself, being very, very present. And if you just sit with those just for a little bit and just feel how they feel. How do they feel to you? And as soon as you start to want to get up and rush off again, energetically, mentally, emotionally, just sit yourself back down and go, no. Start at the beginning, be calm, be kind, be present. And I'm just going to let you sit with that just for a little while longer and see how that feels. And very shortly, I'm going to just take you on a gentle meditation process, which means that you need to get yourself into a comfortable space, kick your shoes off, turn your phone down or off, don't be interrupted, okay? And then we can begin, all right? Just sit with that for a little while longer. And I just want to tell you one more thing, that this whole process that's really going on at the moment has been coming for a long time. We needed this to calm the world down. Everything was out of control. Everything was just like it was on fire, and the world was heating up, and everything in it was heating up, and we were all heating up, and our economy was heating up, and our housing markets and so many things were just getting faster and faster and more out of control. And if you look at history, I've just finished reading a really interesting book called Miss Lily's Lovely Ladies, and it was set in World War One. And you know, she's an incredible historical writer, this lady. I can't think of her name, the author of it, but anyway, Jackie Francis, I think it is. And she has written this amazing historical book. And you know, they had World War One. It just decimated Europe. There were no supplies. It wasn't safe to travel anywhere. So many people lost their lives. There were so many people who had to be innovative. The women who were left at home had to be innovative in how they fed their families and did all the work of the men and so on. And also, you know, there was just so much fear and so much uncertainty that was going on in the world back then. And then, of course, after, at the finish of World War One, we had the flu epidemic that just spread across the world like wildfire. And of course, when people were returning home from the war, they spread it. That was in 19, that was through 1918 and through to 1920. And then there was the Great Depression. So here we are. It's like history's repeating itself, but in a different way. And what comes out of that is loss, but also great innovation, huge creativity, and people having to work together, to be together, to do this together, to think outside the square, to be imaginative. And I think most of all, to be soulful in what we do and how we do it. And if we're panicking and we're distressed and we're angry and we're upset and we're fearful, then we can't bring anything to this that is going to be healing. We're just going to bring our own fear and horrible stuff to it. None of us want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I'm sure that you don't want to do that either. Okay? So let's just begin this process of looking at this meditation, okay? Now, this meditation I'm going to do with you is part of a meditation or part of my Light Path journey process. And it's what I do with people when they're in the process, in the deep process themselves. But you can do this without having to go there, all right? It's just going to require that you're going to have to concentrate. Like I said, get yourselves in a comfortable place, kick your shoes off, make it so you're not going to be disturbed, and you just have to listen carefully and follow my voice, okay? So if you want to, you're welcome to just give me a little nod there when you're ready. Just type in there, ready, and I'll know that you're ready, okay? I'm going to begin right now, and I'm going to just get you all to sit down or lay down quietly, or sit in your chair or wherever you are, and I want you just to focus on your breath. I don't want you to close your eyes right now. I just want you to focus on your breath coming in and out of your body, all right? Focusing on that. Now, I want to tell you something about the breath as you do this, okay? I want you to know that when you breathe in, you are connecting to the earth. And when you breathe out, you're connecting to spirit. Now, the interesting thing is that when you breathe in, it's the first thing that you do when you arrive on the earth, is that you breathe in. Now, if you don't breathe in, you don't come to the earth. You don't connect. Your breath is what connects your soul and your body through the chakra system to the earth, okay, to this earth plane. The last thing that you do when you die is breathe out. You don't breathe back in again, and then you pass into spirit. So the breath in and out is connecting you to the earth as you breathe in and to spirit as you breathe out. So focus on that as you breathe in and focus as you breathe out. And know that you're always connecting to spirit. You have to because of your breath, okay? So let's just breathe in and breathe out together in your own time. And just think about that. That breath in is your life force here. That breath out is your connection to spirit. And just sit with that for a moment. Breathing in, I'm alive. Breathing out, I'm connected to spirit. Breathing in, I'm alive. Breathing out, I'm connected to spirit. Just keep doing that. Now I want you just to close your eyes. And I want you just to keep that focus. If you breathe in, you're here, you're present, you're alive. Breathing out, you're here, present and alive, but you're also connected to spirit. All right, keep doing that now, closing your eyes. And now I want you just to focus on the bottom of your out-breath. Just remember, you'll keep breathing in. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. Keep breathing in, but when you breathe out, just take a little moment and focus on the bottom of that out-breath. Take yourself there as you breathe out. All right? Doing that 2 or 3 times now, focusing on the bottom of your out-breath. And I want you now to visualize at the bottom of your out-breath is this beautiful pool of light. And I want you just to allow yourself to just sink into that beautiful pool of light. I always imagine myself lowering myself into the pools at Hanmer Springs, or a lovely hot, warm bath or a spa pool. This lovely feeling of just sinking into something so warm and so relaxing, except that it's light. And as you do this, you can feel yourself beginning to expand. And you begin to expand above your head. And it's like you're shedding your outer suit that you're wearing. And it's starting to come away from you. And it's coming out above the top of your head. And it's coming out below your feet now. And you're just expanding now, expanding outwards. And it's coming out from the front of you. You're going out the front further and further. And behind you, out you go. And you're going out to your left. And you're going out to your right. And you just feel like for the first time in so long that you can actually take a big breath in. And you could just keep taking that breath in if you wanted to and keep going. And that you could breathe out and just breathe out forever. And breathe in and breathe out. Unrestricted. It's a wonderful feeling. Just allow that. It's hard because our brain will want to go, oh, no, that doesn't work. But you can do that. Focus on that. And as you expand, and you expand, and you expand, I want you to see yourself in this beautiful place. You're standing in this beautiful place. And as you stand there, I want you just to look out around you. And it just is the most beautiful place you could ever imagine. And you are right in the middle of it. It's light. It's warm. It's clear. It feels like home, this beautiful place. And as you stand there, I want you just to reach your arms out. Reach your arms out in front of you. And I want you just to call yourself back from wherever you are. I want you to call yourself back from wherever you've left yourself or sent yourself. You don't have to worry where that is. You just have to be prepared to do that. Just put yourself out there. And let yourself come home. It's like you're out there calling in all those parts of yourself that you've left them wherever they are. All those places you've sent yourself while you were worrying. All those places that you've ever left yourself when you felt sad and you're a bit stuck there. All those places that you feel unloved or really loved, or wherever it was back in your lifetime or lifetimes. Just let yourself come home. And feel that energy come back towards you. Bring it back towards you. That's really important. And just stand there and let it happen. And as you do it, just see what comes for you. Some people get some amazing things. Some people just get a sense of peace. Some people say, I didn't feel anything. But when they come out of it, they think, oh, I actually do feel a lot better. So don't have any expectation of what you might feel or what might be going on. Just keep those arms up and just call yourself back. Bring yourself home into your body. You need all of yourself right here, right now, to deal with this life and what is happening for us right now. You need to be present. And you need to be calm, and this will help you feel more calm. And this will help you to feel more kind because you'll feel more connected. So just let yourself do this. Just trust in it. And I say to people when we're doing light path journeys, don't worry about trying to look, because all you'll do is look at the back of your eyelids. All right? Just let it show itself to you. Let it show itself to you energetically. And allow this process to happen. I'm just going to give you a few seconds just to be there on your own for right now, and I'll be quiet. you can do this anytime you like without me. You just take yourself into this lovely place through your breath. And you can just go there, and you can just be there. All right? Now I just want you just to take your arms down. And I want you just to focus back on your breath. And I want you just to focus back on being in the pool of light. And now I want you just to feel yourself drawing yourself up out of the pool of light. And as you do it, I want you to draw your energy back in from your sides, coming back into your body, drawing that energy back in. And the way to do that is to breathe in. Take a big breath in. And every time you breathe in, you will draw that energy back into your body from your sides. And now a nice big breath in again in your own time, and draw your energy back into the front of yourself. Drawing yourself back into your body. The same from behind yourself, a nice big breath, drawing yourself back in from behind yourself. Drawing your energy back in, and from the top of your head, doing it again, drawing yourself in from the top of your head with a nice big breath in. And from underneath yourself again, and coming in, breathing in. And then I want you just to feel yourself stepping out of the pool of light and feeling yourself back into where you are right now, physically in your body. And when you're ready, I want you to open your eyes and come back. I'll just give you a few seconds to come back if you haven't already. All right. Okay. I can talk and you can do what you need to do. The other thing that I've got is we've been talking about it for a while, as a deep chakra meditation. I've had it around for a while, but now we've revamped it and redone it. And I'm going to be putting it up on Podbean in the next few days. And I'm going to put it up on this Facebook page to let you know that it's there. Now, this is a really, really important meditation. The chakra system is like the spiritual organs of the body. They are what power our body and hold our soul to our body. And when we become frightened, and when we get upset, and when we get stressed, often they will start to shut down, and therefore our body will start to shut down. We'll start to lack energy. We will become mentally unwell, physically unwell, emotionally unwell, and we certainly become spiritually disconnected. Now, this chakra meditation, as it stands, is what I use to get people into light path journeys. So I'm giving away a very important piece of my work, of what I do to get people into light path journeys. And it was given to me many years ago by Spirit, in the shower of all places. Can you imagine that? And I have used it myself many years before I developed light path journey therapy, or they told me that's what it was for. And now that's what I use, and I've taught it to my students of light path journey therapy so they can use it. It's a powerful tool. It's very simple, but it works really, really well. And we're going to put it up there. There'll be a small fee attached to it so that I can keep doing my work, all right? Because this is what I really want to do, all right? And I want to share what I have with you. I have books and books of it. I have yards of stuff that I want to share, but I want to keep doing it. I know times are tough, so it won't be expensive, but I just want to get it out there. So keep an eye on it. You can always join my mailing list from 01K Living Soulfully if you want to. You can go to my website and join my mailing list, which means that you'll get notifications in your email box. I hardly ever send out emails. I'm terrible at it, which is probably a good thing.
Only when you've got something
Only
to
when
say.
I've got something to say, as John said, which some people would say is a lot, but actually it's not. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to share that with you, all right? I've got a lot of stuff I want to share. And what I want you to do from this moment on, I wish for you, is I wish for you to be happy. And I really wish for you to be calm. And I wish for you to be kind. And I really wish for you to be present. And I really want us to stay and work this out together. So like I said to you before, every time I end these little I don't know what you call them, broadcasts or vids. We're in this together, and let's hang out here together at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday night. You can always watch this again afterwards if you missed the first part of it. And I also, as John just told me, I'm also doing online coaching and mentoring and spiritual teaching, one-on-one at the moment, online. I've got a special deal on at the moment. Please, if you feel like you need some help, just reach out, okay? And I look forward to seeing you here again next Tuesday night. So thank you for joining me. Have a good week and enjoy your time to yourselves at home in your own presence, in the presence of your family. Go well, everybody.